What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tank Be Choppin', and I'm back with another haircut tutorial. So what we gonna be doing on this cut is a number 2 with the grain and a mid-drop fade. Let's go. So as y'all can see here, guys, I got my comb in my hand, and all I'm doing is combing this hair in the direction that it grows. The way it lays, that way I can see exactly what's going on with his hair. I want to make sure I comb it out all properly. That way, we don't leave no patches when we're actually cutting the top down. So I'm just really paying attention to the way the hair lays and the way it grows. That way it's combed down right. And yeah, like I said, just so I don't patch him up. So now I got my number 2 on my clipper, and I'm coming with the grain, meaning I'm coming forward, following the same way, the same exact way the hair grows. And as y'all can see, I'm taking my time. Every time I do a couple strokes on top, I am combing that hair just so I can see how it's laying and see exactly how it's getting cut. Now that we're here in the crown area, I'm trying to take my time. I'm really trying to pay attention to the way the hair is growing, because the crown area is always a tricky area. It's real easy to pat somebody up or cut too much off of that area, and obviously that's not something I'm trying to do. So I want to give this man a shout out real quick. He's stationed out of Japan. He's from Houston, but he's stationed out of Japan. He messaged me a while back. He's a YouTube subscriber and an Instagram follower, and he messaged me saying he was coming back to Houston. He needed a haircut. He wanted to come through and rock with your boy. So I said, all right, man. Let's schedule you up and let's get it done. He does cut hair also, so we had a good little time talking haircuts and barbering equipment and barber tools. And I really appreciate you for coming out, bro. Alright, so back to this haircut. As you can see, I'm starting my initial bald guideline with my trimmer. And since we are doing a mid-drop fade, I am starting this haircut like I would start a normal mid-fade. However, once we get towards that back, I am going to drop it below that occipital bone. Now I'm moving on to the other side, and I'm just doing the same exact thing, starting it like I would start my normal mid-fades, and then I'm gonna drop it in the back. And y'all know I dropped most of my fades down in the back already, but for this fade I am dropping it a little more since we are doing, a mid-drop. Now I'm taking my shaver, and I'm just coming up right below that line, and the closer I get to that line, I am flicking out and relieving some pressure. That way it don't create a harsh line for me to take away. Alright, so now we get into some actual fade work. I'm coming in with my ergos from Gamma and or Stylecraft. It's the same clipper, but I'm coming in with my lever all the way open. And I am gonna be coming up about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. And I'm following the same exact shape that I created with that bald guideline. So as y'all can see here, guys, I am playing it a little safe with my setting in my next guideline. And the reason for that is this was my first time cutting this hair, so I really wanted to make sure I placed this fade properly, and I didn't want to bring that fade too high. So y'all know how I do it, guys. Once I set in my guideline or set in that line for that next section, I like to fade down. So I am coming in with my lever halfway open or halfway closed, and I'm coming up halfway into that section. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna adjust my lever 1 notch, come right below that, and then close it all the way and try to flick out that bottom line. And as y'all can see, well, I don't know if y'all really paying attention or not, but I'm trying to be real precise with, every little stroke that I do. As you can see, I am using some slight corner blending already. And basically, I'm just doing a little bit of detail work within this section. That way I don't have to come back and do too much detail work at the end of the cut. So my next step is with my number 1 guard. My lever is all the way open, and I'm coming up another section. Same thing, I'm gonna come up about the same exact the same exact way that I did last time. I'm gonna use a slight flick out motion, and I am gonna come up about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, and I'm still following that same shape that I created at the beginning. And my same rules apply when I'm doing, this section, guys. I started with the lever open, and well, actually on this one, I adjusted my lever all the way closed, and as you can see, I'm flicking that bottom line, and I already know this ain't gonna take that line completely out, so I am gonna have to come back in with my 0 guard and use that with my lever halfway open, and then close it all the way to get rid of that bottom line. And you see me going over this, a good amount of time, and that's just me being consistent with it, me just making sure I got all this hair down to that right length. That way it makes it easier for me to fade. So here is my 0 guard on my 1/16, whatever you want to call it, it's up to you, but my lever is halfway open, and I'm just really coming right above that line. Really just, I'm really not trying to come too far up into that section, but I do want to see what happens when I attack this line and bring that a little higher, and then I'm going to close that lever all the way. And once that lever is all the way closed, I'm really going to try to stay at that line and just attack that line, flick at that line to try to get that line completely out. And if it doesn't get that line completely out, that's perfectly fine. I'll come back and detail it later if needed. Alright guys, so now I'm going in with my number 3 guard. I believe my lever is actually all the way closed. Normally I come in with my lever all the way open, but for whatever reason I came in with my lever closed, and it didn't really take off too much. So I decided to put my number 2 guard on there, and my lever is all the way closed, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm just coming up right, basically another section. I am using more of a flick out motion, that way I don't create any lines. And as you can see, I'm just trying to attack these dark spots and just adjusting that lever as needed to try to get this fade to come together. And same thing here, guys. You're gonna see me going over this a good amount of time, and that's just me being consistent, trying to get out all these dark areas and see what basically just see what I'm doing with this guard and what needs to be done after this. So I basically did my initial steps up. I went all the way up to a number 3 guard, and I did a number 2 guard, and now I'm coming back down. This is my number 1 or my 1/8. My lever is open, and as you can see, I'm just flicking at these dark areas, attacking these dark spots, using some corner blending, basically just trying to get this fade as good as I can. And I'm gonna be 100% honest with y'all guys. I already feel like this fade is coming together good. That's just my personal opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Alright, so now I'm coming in with my trimmer, and all I'm doing now is trying to get rid of that bottom line, guys, so y'all can see that I'm just flicking at that bottom line. And once that is done, that's basically me going through all my steps. If I remember correctly, I'm gonna start his lineup after this and then go back and detail if needed. Okay, so see, I was actually wrong. So what I did here, guys, I changed clippers. I am using a clipper that is slightly more shorter. It's just 0 gap, a little closer, and it cuts a little closer. So I decided to use this at the bottom of that fade just to do some more detailing to make this fade come together a little better. And also because I probably saw a line that I knew I wanted to take out with this clipper, just because it would have been easier for me. That is one perk about having so many clippers. I have some that are gapped a little closer than others, and I feel like, the more I use them, the more I know exactly what I need to use them for. And, when I see a line, I know exactly what guard or what clipper can take out that line.
Damn it, Tito.
Alright, so now I'm coming in with my trimmers. Starting on the lineup, starting on the middle of his head, creating my first guideline, and I'm just moving my way over. And we are trying to stay, you know, pretty natural. We're not trying to push this hairline back. We're just trying to make it look as crisp as possible. We are going to add enhancements at the end of this haircut, which I know I still want to make it look as sharp as I possibly can before I add those enhancements in. Alright, so now that I got that line in there, I can actually see this blend a little better. And what I'm doing now is just going back, detailing some more of this haircut, detailing some more of this fade, just basically just trying to take this to the next level. And when it comes to detailing, you can be as detailed as you want. You can use any guards that you feel are necessary to make that blend come together. So now we're starting on the opposite side, guys, and we're going to be doing the same exact steps here. You know, I'm coming in with my lever open, coming up a section. And once this section is put in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close my lever halfway, come halfway into that section. Then I'm going to close my lever little by little and come down lower with how much I'm going up with that clipper. I hope y'all know what I'm trying to say. So I do want to give a shout out to my boy Tito Beats. Y'all make sure to subscribe to his YouTube channel, give him a follow on Instagram. Also, if y'all interested, guys, y'all see the tools I'm using is Gamma or Stylecraft. So if y'all liking any of these tools, y'all can head over to their website, and whatever y'all purchase, y'all can use my code TANK10 and you will get a small discount. So like I was telling y'all earlier, guys, this was my first time cutting his hair. You know, he was a YouTube subscriber, so we know we had a good talk about a lot of things in general. You know, he's a barber, like I said earlier. You know, he just started cutting hair. He said he's been doing a lot of learning, a lot of practicing. And, you know, I think that's pretty dope, you know what I'm saying, that he actually reached out to me. He actually reached out to me one day. I went Instagram live, and I guess he got the notification. And we were talking on Instagram live. I went live with him, and we were just talking. And, you know, we had a good connection. And then he messaged me saying he was coming into town. He wanted to come through and get a haircut by me. So I'm like, man, that's tight. Like, I really appreciate it, you know. To me, it was like it was a big deal. Maybe not to him, but to me, it felt like it was. I really hope that he liked this haircut. I felt like I did him right. You know, y'all gonna see at the end of this cut, but I felt like I did him right. And yeah, man, like it was a good time just talking with him, and you know, just talking a lot about our barber experiences and the clippers we like to use and all that. Alright, so back to this cut. As y'all can see, I'm trying to finish up this lineup in the front. So I'm just starting off in the middle again, and I'm just trying to follow that initial guideline over to the left this time, and trying to make these lines as sharp as possible. And as y'all can see now, I'm putting in that C cup. You know, I want to give him a nice curve. Now I'm going back in after that lineup is there and just doing some small detail work. Like I said, guys, y'all gonna see me go through some different clippers sometimes. Like, you know, I have 3 pairs of ergos. I got this pair that has the Andis Masters blade on it. I have the regular pair, you know, the black pair that y'all saw. That one has the regular blade that it comes with, and then I have a silver pair that has the Andis Fat Master blade. And I just, you know, you don't need all those clippers, but you know what I'm saying, for me is I wanted to try different blades on my clippers, and I feel like it helps me bring, you know, take my haircuts to the next level. I can do a whole haircut with just one clipper, but honestly, I'm gonna be 100% with y'all guys. I don't care, like, if as a barber, I don't care if you need to use 1 tool or 3 tools or 5 tools, however many tools you need to use to get your clients with that good haircut. You know, that's all about preference, and that whatever makes the job easier for you, that's what you need to do. Like, I hear some people on Instagram and on YouTube saying, oh, I could do that whole haircut with 1 clipper, or, you know, other barbers are, you know, really proud that they have all these clippers. And, you know, both sides of the spectrum is cool. Like, if you only want to use 1 clipper, that's up to you, and if you want to use 5, that's up to you also. You gotta do whatever you gotta do to make that blend come out. And if using more than one clipper helps you, then hey, use more than one clipper. And if just using one clipper helps you better, then hey, just use one. Like I said, it's all about preference, and you gotta do what's easier for you. Alright guys, so I'm sorry I was rambling on, but we are on the back of this haircut now. And as y'all can see, you know, we are doing that drop fade. So as y'all can see, you want to make sure you still follow that guideline that's in the back. So I am dipping down towards the middle of the back of this haircut. That way, you know, we still have that drop down effect when it comes to fading this haircut up, and basically towards the end of this haircut, so it looks still that it's dropped down in the back. And I am doing the same exact steps. You know, I started with my lever open, faded that section out, put my number 1 guard, faded that section out, etc., etc. And now I'm just fading back down, trying to get these dark spots out. And here I am with my clipper all the way open, and I'm just adjusting that lever as needed to try to get this part of the haircut, you know, looking nice. And you do want to make sure that the back ties into the sides, guys, so y'all can see me moving from the back to the opposite side. And then, you know, I just want to make sure that the back looks, you know, it brings this whole haircut together. You know, the back is one of the most important parts of the haircut. I know the clients probably can't see it sometimes, but I just feel that really brings the haircut together. It ties in the left side to the right side and makes it all look like it's one, you know, perfect fade. And this is my ergos with the Fat Master that I was telling y'all about earlier. So now I'm going in with my blending shears, and the reason why I'm using it on this side is the person who cut his hair previously, you know, the fade wasn't 100%, and I didn't really want to take this fade too high, so I decided to come back in with my blending shears and just refine that just a little. So now we're moving on to the razor edge up, and all I'm doing is going over everything I did with them trimmers. I'm just making sure them lines are super sharp with this razor. Now we're going in and adding some enhancements, and y'all seen the cut before them enhancements, man. The haircut was good. That fade looks, to me, that fade looks on point. But I'm just, you know, y'all know how I do, man. I'm just taking this haircut to the next level. Alright guys, so this is the haircut. You know, this is how he looked when he first walked into the shop. You know, not too bad, but I said, you know what, man, I'm gonna ice this thing out. We're gonna get you right. And this is how my boy left the shop looking. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut in the comments. If y'all like this video, if y'all like this cut, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe one time for your boy. Y'all already know I got more content coming soon, guys. I appreciate y'all, YouTube. Until next time, let's go.